Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to Gaming and Still Life. I'm your host Rich. And last night, I was sitting there minding my own business, going through my phone, and I happened to see something on Facebook where they sell stuff, an Oculus Rift. So it was $300 and it said brand new. So I'm like, okay, well, let me shoot them a text and say I'm interested. And then shot him a text and say, is this still available? And I waited. It was one of those people that I think would like look at their phone every half hour and then send a text. So I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to find out like what's in it, and they're like, it's a VR thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shoot a price out there, 150 bucks. Well, I didn't hear anything until like 1:30, 2 in the morning. I hear, that's fine. So I'm like, that's fine. Okay. What's fine? So I text back and I'm like, so is that a yes? And they're like, it took another half an hour. And they were like, yes. Okay. I'm like, okay. Well, it's already like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, okay, how about tomorrow morning? I have to work at 3. And they're like, another hour went by, and I think this morning I went to sleep, and this morning I started texting and like, hey, what's up, you want to do this? No answer. So I thought, everything's, he's not gonna do it. Then I get a text back and saying, oh, sorry bro, I got out of work, or I had to work till 6 in the morning. He said he had to work till 6 in the morning. And so I guess he went to sleep for a while. So this is like about 1:30 in the afternoon. He's like, meet me at the gas station. So I'm like, okay. So this gas station he wants to meet, it's like 5 minutes away. So I jump in the car, in my truck. I go over there. I go to the gas station. And he said he was going to be in a black, I thought he said truck, but apparently he was in a black Jeep. So I'm sitting there waiting. I see this black Jeep come in real fast, goes all the way to the door of the convenience store. And this kid runs in. So I thought it was him. So I go and I look, and I kind of like, it had dark tinted windows, but I was like from the driver's side, walking on the sidewalk looking in. I saw that a white box with an Oculus in the front. So I'm like, this is the guy. So the guy's coming out. He bought a pack of cigarettes, and he's like, you're the one? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, he points to the car door. I open the car door, and I'm trying to I'm like, oh, okay, so I had this, it's in a box, right? And I'm struggling trying to get this thing off, because you got to look at it, right? So I'm struggling to get this thing off. And then I get to this part where it's a nice box. And I'm like, wow. I'm like thinking to myself, this is a nice box. How do I get in it? I didn't realize that there's a flap that you have to pull here to get it open. Well, when I opened it, first thing I noticed is this was right here. Right? And it still had the plastic seal on it. So, and I'm looking at it a little closer, and when I inspect it, I mean, everything it still has the little packets. It still has a little instruction book perfectly right there. It has a brand new Xbox controller with the sticker, like still the stickers on it and stuff like that. This has been like twisted up. Everything was in brand new condition. I hand the guy the money. He's like, yeah, that's that VR stuff I don't know anything about. He's like, whatever my girlfriend says, I don't care. Whatever my girlfriend said on the phone or something, when I hand him the money, he's like, I don't care. He didn't even count it. He just stuck it in his pocket. And he's like, later. So I get home and I'm driving. I'm thinking, 150 bucks. This thing don't work. That's the first thing I thought. So I get home and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to have to get touch controllers, because it was one that only comes with the one camera and the Xbox controller. And I was about to buy an Xbox controller anyways, because I actually sold, the whole reason I even thought of this is because yesterday I also sold my PlayStation, my white PlayStation Pro. I sold it. I'm not a console guy no more. I just gave up console. I have my Nintendo Switch, but that's it. I'm a PC guy now through and through. But I couldn't pass this opportunity by. So I get home, and the first thing when I take this out, I realize is that it's really, really light, like a feather. I mean, like if you compare it with this guy, this thing is a Sherman tank, you know, compared to this. The weight difference, just holding it in your hand, it feels so much like a I don't know, like a baseball cap. This thing is. I will say that right now, since I don't have the touch controllers, there's a lot of games that you can't even play unless you have controllers. I do have the Xbox joystick, but I want to wait. I did order the touch controllers. I ordered them through Newegg. That I did get the expedient processing, and I get 2-day mail. So hopefully I get it by Friday. I don't know, but I'm withholding a lot of judgment till I get that. But I did have about 2.5 hours on Eve Valkrie. And I was able to put this at 1.5, but I feel that I think this takes up a lot less processing power than my Samsung Odyssey, because it has a bigger display. If you have more pixels, that's more your processor's got to push. Anyways, cut to the chase. I like it. You know, my first impressions is, now at first, like for my headset right here, like I usually put it on right with glasses, and I push it over my glasses. Now on this, it's a little bit different. You want to stick your glasses in it first, and then kind of like, I don't wear these glasses for VR. I have a different pair, but kind of like put it in like that and turn. It's a little bit of a different way. It's a little bit harder to get into, and it did feel like when I was wearing it with glasses, like it was pushing like against my face a lot more than it did with the Odyssey. Another thing that I'm curious about, it's got like a fabric in between where the lenses go, and I don't want to break that. I don't know if like it's going to put strain with my glasses like on the edge, and it's going to eventually grip that. It does look like it's more delicate maybe on the features, especially it's this cloth right here. But it's super comfortable. For the 2.5 hours that I was playing Eve Valkrie, I think that I could play it longer with this screen resolution. It almost feels like with this one, when you have it on, there's less of, okay, with the Odyssey, it feels more like there's more black. Like it gets, the screen is like a little further, and there's like a more of a goggle look than with this. It looks like I have less of that black space on the sides. I don't know if that really explains it, but it just feels like I'm looking through a longer corridor with my Odyssey. The graphics are very sharp with this. I didn't notice any screen door, but I see right now I've only played it with one game, so I'm really withholding judgment. If I had to choose right now, and only by playing that one game, I think I would choose this for right now. That's not saying, let me wait till I get the touch controller and try it out with different games. It was very easy to install. I put the camera out there, and I already had the software on my machine. But basically, it detected this. It was very easy. It took 5 minutes. It was like one of the most simple things I had to do. It detects it as long as it's in front of the camera, and it worked, you know, pretty well. What I like about it is I did play on some of the stuff that's on the Oculus site, and then I jumped over to Steam VR, and you can just turn on Steam VR, and you don't have to have like on the Windows Mixed Reality. Like, it seems like with Windows Mixed Reality, there's another layer in between Steam VR and the headset, you know. So so far, but I've only played it with one game, so I can't really pass judgment yet. So I had an opportunity, 150 bucks. I took it. I got the touch controllers on the way, so total investment, 250 bucks. I think that was a great deal. I almost see it like having multiple consoles. I mean, like, for example, the Odyssey is the PlayStation, and this is the Xbox. There's games that I can't play on that. I've been wanting to play Lone Echo. I think that's a very important game for VR. I think that's a very important game that needs to be supported. I think Echo Arena is an awesome game. I could play it with the Odyssey, but I could tell that I could never be as good as those guys with the touch controllers. Now, I don't have the touch controllers yet, but I feel that I'm going to really enjoy them. So I thought this, my buddy said, oh, he had it, and my buddy Paul, he's a really good guy too. He said he had it, and he noticed the screen door effect really bad, and he had to take it back. I don't really, the only time I noticed the screen door is like a little bit when it was initiating in the beginning, because it was like, everything was black, and I was like, oh man, the screen door effect's going to be really bad. But as far as that one game on Eve Valkrie, I don't notice the screen door. I think I'd rather play it with this and my Thrustmaster X right now than with my Odyssey. I think this is more comfortable for the long run. I think I could play longer with this, but that's only so far. I think it's important that I have multiple headsets because I can give you more points of view. So that is just my first preliminary assessment. Let me try it some more. Let me get the touch controller. Let me play some more games that I play with the Odyssey, and I will get back to you. So subscribe if you want to keep in touch on what my findings are, and if you don't care, then don't worry about it. But hit the like button. Help me out. I do everything I do for this channel. Everything I get is so I can inform you guys. I think it's important that we all are informed, and I think it's important that if you have one headset, if you can afford it, try to get another one. It's good to have. I wanted an Oculus headset to play Oculus games. I have something that works well with Steam VR over there, and I don't have trackpads with this. A lot of the things I don't think are going to work with this, so it's good to have two. So I'm going to report on my findings, and so far I'm happily surprised with this product. I think it's well made, and I think it's very slick, especially the packaging. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a good night.